These Euro-style RGB Sequential LED taillights are a great way to make your 2024 and newer Mustangs stand out from the crowd. With their clean European-style look and some unique features hiding beneath the surface, these can easily set your car apart from the rest. Now, styling is of course subjective, but in my opinion, one of the best parts of the S650 styling cues are the way that Ford incorporated the iconic tri-bar design into the taillights. They give you that signature indented look of the 67 and 68 cars while integrating modern technology. It's really retro done right. And while the factory lenses look great, some of you might just prefer something a little bit different or a little more slick looking. Now, these Euro-style taillights are pretty much exactly what the name says. They are built to mimic the clear taillights you can find on a European market Mustang. Especially on a white or silver car, these look great, but they're also going to add a fresh look to any color of S650. The gloss black outer housings provide a nice contrast, and they make the LED sections here really pop. Now inside, you've got some additional fun bits. Now these keep the sequential turn signal function. Only when you signal, these are going to light up amber, again like their European counterparts. But the LEDs inside also have an RGB function, meaning that you can change the running lights to pretty much any color you want using the accompanying app on your iOS or Android powered device. You can change these up for a car show or just to match your mood very easily. And you have the choice between a static color and a flow mode that offers some animated flowing lighting effects. And having this all be app controlled means that it's a quick and easy way to make your car stand out and catch some eyes at the next event you attend. The outer housings are made from polypropylene, and you've got polycarbonate lenses over top, very much the standard of the auto industry and just like your original taillights. Now these are of course weather sealed to protect the electronics inside, and they are designed to have the same output as your factory lights too. Plus the fact that they are LED means that they should have a nice long lifespan, again very much like your factory tails. These are also DOT and SAE approved, meaning that they are street legal as well. Pricing comes in at about $975, which makes them one of the more premium offerings out there for the S650. But it's hard to put a price tag on being unique, so if you want the look and the functionality and you value standing out from the crowd, these are definitely worth the price of entry. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you maybe an hour to complete. This is a really simple job. They just bolt right in place of your factory tails, and they are fully plug and play. So there's no wiring required, and that makes it a quick and easy job for you to tackle at home. We're also going to walk you through the process step by step right now. So for that, let's head on out to the shop.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, clip remover tool, plastic pry tool, a couple different size extensions, 7, 8, and 10 millimeter sockets. Today we're installing taillights on our Mustang, so let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is pop off our rear bumper to get access to remove our taillights. So I'm gonna hop underneath first, remove all those 7 millimeter screws and a few push clips that we need to disconnect on the bottom.
So we're right underneath the center of our rear bumper. We've got these 9 7 millimeter screws to remove. Just grab a 7 millimeter socket to pull them out. Now on the sides of our bumper, next to our mufflers, we've got 2 clips on each side. Grab a clip remover tool to pop these out. Do the same thing on the other side.
Now we're gonna come to our wheel well. We've got a 7 millimeter bolt back in this pocket, one here, and then one connecting our bumper to our quarter panel. So for the one in that pocket at the bottom, I'm using the short extension with my 7 millimeter socket. And then I'm going to ditch the extension for the last 2. And then the last one is going up into our quarter panel. So just pull that fender liner back and pull that bolt out. And now with those bolts removed, we can pull on the corner to pop our bumper out of the bracket. Do the same thing on the other side. Now, right behind that screw that was in that pocket. We have a bracket. In the center, we've got the U-clip that screw goes into, but then we also have 2 more screws right next to that hole. Now it's gonna be tough to see. If you poke your head around, you can kind of see where it's at. Take your 7mm socket and remove both of those. Now with those removed, we can pull this out, and those 2 holes right there are where our bolts came from. So now you can do that on the other side, and then we'll fully remove our bumper. So now you can pop your trunk. We're gonna release the 2 corners of our bumper and pull back on it. Now we still have a connector for our wiring harness that's plugged in, so don't yank on it. We'll get that once we have this removed. So now right below the passenger side taillight, you can see our connector. Push in on that black tab, pull your connector out, and then you can fully remove your bumper. So now with our rear bumper off, we need to remove this lower bracket to get our taillight out. We've got a bolt down here, one here, and one here, and then we've got a clip in the middle holding it in. So grab an 8mm socket and get those bolts out first. And we'll just pop that clip out. That's your one clip. And we'll just let this hang out here for now while we fully remove our taillight. So now I'm gonna come to the top of our taillight and remove this little trim piece filler panel. I'm gonna take a plastic pry tool and just get under there and pop this out of the clips. So now we'll hop inside the trunk. I'm gonna remove this one push clip at the top on the side with a clip remover tool. And then we've got 2 twist knobs on this plastic piece. So you can just twist those to the left to unscrew them. Now that'll give you access to pop this piece out a little bit. You don't need to fully remove this piece. We have enough access just pulling it back. And then we'll pop our carpet out of the way so we can get back to our nuts. So now behind the carpet, we're gonna come to our wire harness and follow that down to the connector. You're gonna press in on the tab, that tab right there, and pop your connector out. And then up by the connector, we've got one of our 10mm nuts. So grab a 10mm socket and remove it. And now pull back on that plastic piece and you'll find your last 2 nuts. Remove those with the 10mm socket as well. And now we can fully remove our tail light. Now down at this bottom corner, we have a magnet. So I'm gonna pop that first, and then we'll just slide that out. Disconnect the grommet for your wire harness and pull that connector through. So now I've got my factory taillight here. I need to pop out this magnet that sits right around here. So I'm just gonna pull on the one side and use that plastic piece as leverage to just pop that out. And then I'll grab my new taillight. I'll find that slot where the clip goes, and then we're just gonna push that in. And now with that in place, I can take my wire harness, I'm gonna feed it through this circle hole, and then I'm gonna pop my grommet into place. Get that in place, and then just work it in until it clicks in there. And then we can slide our taillight in. You're gonna have to tuck this edge kind of behind the quarter panel a little bit, and then line up your bolt holes and slide that in. Now while we're here, I'm gonna pop our lower bracket back into place. So get this white clip into this hole. Press that into place. And then grab your 8mm socket and extension and thread in your 3 screws. And then I'm going to throw my ratchet on the other side and tighten those down. And now we'll hop inside the trunk and install our nuts. So now inside the trunk, we've got two connectors on the back of our taillight. We've got a square and a more rectangle one. Now I'm using the rectangle one, but just use the one that plugs into your connector. Press it in until you hear that click. And then we can grab the nut that's going on that stud, thread that on, and then take a 10mm socket to tighten it down. And then we can pop back our trim piece here and thread on our other two nuts. Take your 10mm socket to tighten those as well. And then you can go ahead, tuck your carpet back behind that plastic trim piece. Pop that back into place, and then you can take your two twist nuts, twist them onto those studs. And then we'll come to the top and reinstall our push clip. Repeat that same process on the other side. And now come to the top of your headlight, and we just need to reinstall our little filler panel. We've got the 3 clips that'll line up with these 3 holes. Do the same thing on the other side. So now I'm ready to lift my bumper up into place. I'm going to start by plugging in that one connector right below my passenger side taillight. And then I'll lift this up, line it up, and push it into place. Now we're going to go down to our wheel well. We're going to start with the 2 screws down here. We've got 3 clips. The center one is going to get a screw, but it has to go through the fender liner first. So we're just going to do the top and bottom for now. I'm going to pop that back into place, pull my fender liner back, grab my screws, and start threading those in. And then grab your 7mm socket and tighten those down. And we can pop our fender liner back into place, and we're going to put that last screw through the middle hole. And then I'm going to put that screw in the middle. And then we'll just pop our fender liner back and reinstall the one that connects our bumper to the quarter panel. Then do that same thing on the other side. Next we can come to the side of our bumper next to our muffler and reinstall our 2 push clips. Do the same thing on the other side. And now finally, we can come right to the center of our bumper and reinstall all of those screws at the bottom. The 2 screws without the captured washers are going here and here. So I'm going to thread those in first. And then I'll thread in all of the rest of my screws. And then grab a 7mm socket to tighten all these down. So to control our RGB lights, we're gonna come into our Happy Lighting app. Now there's a QR code in the box for you to download this. We can come to our modes and switch our different modes. We have a bunch of fading and jumping modes. And then if you come down over here, you have the color wheel where you can change it between a bunch of different colors. We have a music mode down here so that you can sync it with music. You can spin around the color wheel to make custom colors outside of the preset ones at the bottom. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Euro style RGB sequential LED taillights with gloss black housing and clear lens for your 2024 and newer Mustang. Thank you for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.